Craft spirit producers and suppliers, this one's for you. The American Craft Spirits Association's Convention and Expo is happening April 17th and 18th in Sacramento, California. Education, networking, access to taste over 300 spirits at the grand tasting, and the industry's best all in one place. Secure your spot now at americancraftspirits.org. Welcome to another episode of Distilling the West. I'm your host, Dan, joined by my co-host, Dave. How you doing over there, Dave?
I am doing well. I'm super excited for today. This is, this will be a treat. Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and introduce our guest so we can get right into this?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Tiffany Tubon, Nick Sadowski. So nice for you to join us today from the island. Welcome to the podcast today. How you guys doing?
Good.
Great.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you guys have a great backdrop there today with the still in the background, some sugarcane in the foreground. So really setting the scene today. Tiffany, your hair is blowing in the wind. Is that the island wind coming in? Excellent. Well, you guys are with Kō Hana Rum on Oahu. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about your backgrounds before you got to Kō Hana Rum?
Sure. When you start, you start.
I'll start. So I've been with Kō Hana for 10 and a half years now. And I'm the brand and sales manager here for Hawaii, for the whole state. And I started off, I found Kō Hana, first of all. I was a stay-at-home mom, and somebody had introduced me, one of my husband's uncles. He helps do like maintenance here in the area, and they would give him some bottles here and there when they first started distilling. And just a little background on Kō Hana. So we're situated at this little distillery that we have here, rowing distillery, small but mighty. We're based out of Kunia, which is an old pineapple plantation, Del Monte.
Oh, yeah.
And our tasting room is the old general store. So that's where all the farmers would come and buy their groceries, get a hot plate lunch. This place has been so many things. There's a barber shop in here, and now we get to call it our home, our tasting room. And our distillery we built added on to the building, and actually started growing our sugarcane just right out the doors here.
That's
as
awesome.
well. And so it's a historic place. There's about 150 plantation homes on the other side of our distillery where people still live, and the old plantation workers, including my husband's family. His grandfather was a luna, or supervisor for the plantation, and they actually lived where our sugarcane field is now. And he grew up here. My background, I'm from Kauai, so next island over, the oldest island in the island chain. And my great grandparents came here from the Philippines to work in the sugar plantation. So they're some of the first Filipinos to train the incoming farm workers there. And so when I found Kō Hana, and learned about the story where they were growing their own sugar cane, making a really beautiful product that, is like world renowned, this in this beautiful square bottle, and, really highlighting and showcasing the sugar canes. I just really wanted to have something to do with that. So it meant a lot to me, the place, the plant, the people. So it's so important and dear to my heart. And I started in the tasting room, doing the tours and managing that. And I do events and whatever everybody else doesn't want to do. I'm the janitor and whatever you want me to do.
Hey, the perks of running a small business, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Tons of hats. Lots of hats over here.
Yeah, Nick, you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah. I'm from Jersey. I moved to Philadelphia for college. I lived there for 12, 13 years, and I moved out here from Philadelphia. It's funny, we were talking before how you guys are in Chico, and that's kind of oddly enough kind of how my journey started a little bit. There was a old I don't know if it's still around, probably is, but the Brewing Network, I think those guys were the Hop Grenade. I don't know if it's in Chico or they started in Chico, but I got my start in brewing, and I really listened to those guys like every week, and I just kind of like fell in love with it. I went to school at Temple University in Philadelphia, but I got a degree in like audiovisual stuff, and I was doing that for a little bit, but I fell in love with brewing and just kind of like got obsessed with it, just like many people did back 15 years ago, however. So, and I just kind of stayed the course, kind of got obsessed with it, and then was able to find a brewing job, the head brewer job at a local brewery. I was there for 3 years, probably. Still home brewing along the way, and just kind of still crazed about it. Things kind of happened, and I was ready to move on from the brewery. Still trying to seek another brewing job and just trying to stay in the industry. And just oddly enough, one of the guys in my homebrew club was working at a distillery and was like, "Hey, we need people," and I needed a job, so I got into distilling, and I became obsessed with that too, obviously. And then it kind of just turned over from all right, beer to natural progression, kind of into distilling. And yeah, so I worked at a company called Philadelphia Distilling in Philly, making Blue Coat gin, and did that for like 4 years. Primarily gin, some whiskey, a little bit of absinthe, kind of just did a little bit of stuff, and then a lot of the experimental stuff. We were able to had small lab stills we can kind of just go nuts with, and then yeah, just kind of the pandemic happened. Was looking for a change, like didn't feel too safe and just like at my position, just or whatever. I just looking to kind of grow my career. And so I was looking around, and at the same time, I was really getting into rum. Pandemic was just like, oh, I need to find some type of hobby. So I got into rum, specifically agricole-style rum. And that's kind of what brought me out. I was like researching where we could find that, like in the States, and Hawaii was there. So I was like, I found Kō Hana, became obsessed with it, and I was like, oh man, it'd be cool. There was nobody was hiring or anything. I just sent an email like, hey, this would be like so cool to work with you guys. I like love what you do, and just kind of want to be part of it because it's just such an awesome story, and you don't see much of that happening here in the States. So yeah, I kind of just went for it, and it worked out. And that was like 4.5 years ago now.
Okay.
So that was like 2021. I moved out here in 2021. So yeah.
Nice. Well, okay. Let's jump into our first pour. Let's get this poured up here, Dave.
Do you want to introduce this one for us?
And I'll just jump in real quick by saying, first off, thank you so much for the care package. It was not only the spirits here, but you guys really made us feel special over here with the chocolate and all the stickers and these amazing glasses, really great glassware. So cheers to you guys. That was really awesome. Very special. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right.
So this is Kea, pronounced Kea. Kea means white in Hawaiian. So this is our flagship white spirit. And you'll notice on the side of the bottle too, it also has the varietal. So the Kea is our brand of white rum, but we also have varietals on the side, or we showcase, we have 34 different varietals. We've distilled 9 of those into distillate. So we do single cane varietal releases. So this one is the Kea varietal. There's also a cane called Kea, as well as the brand. So
This is the Kea sugarcane.
Okay.
Very cool.
so you can see on Kea, there's like Kea means white, and the reason they call it that is he's like you can see the white wax coating, and yeah. So this is basically our workhorse cane. This is like the one that has a really high yield of both sugar content and juice volume. So this is like we get nice thick canes, get high bricks on our juice, and it's just kind of our workhorse. It grows the best. And you know, we have different varietals that do different things well. This is definitely like our workhorse one, and this is the one that you'll see primarily out in the wild. And most of the other ones you could just get at the distillery. Yeah.
And another thing, our bottles, we use a glass cork too. So you don't want to like yank it off or twist it off. You just kind of cock it to the side like that.
Not swish on it.
Yeah, the back lot.
Actually, a lot easier than you think.
Yeah.
And a lot of people make.
And from the distilleries that we've interviewed that use those, they really talk about how that you don't have any influence from the cork coming in, and it just really keeps, you know, the spirit that you have in the glass as it, you know, you want to represent it, and it doesn't, you know, change over time. But oh my gosh, okay, so I have so many things running through my head right now, and you know, I think before we get into this pour, can you just really quick, or maybe not quick, run through what an agricole-style rum is? Because that's what we're going to be tasting through today. So I think that would be great to kind of set the baseline.
Yeah. So agricole-style, so it kind of originates in the French Caribbean area. So what do you call it? Martinique and New Guinea and Haiti, part of Haiti, I guess. But yeah, so down there, they don't do any any adulterating to the sugarcane. So it's fresh pressed sugarcane juice, right from field to fermentation. There's no refining of sugar, no molasses in it. So it's typically when you see a distillery that makes an agricole-style rum, the distillery is right next to the cane fields because it's going right from pressing to fermentation. For us, our field, we have some acreage over next to us here, and we have some up on our north shores. We have 2 fields up in a town called Haleiwa and Waialua, and they're only about 20 minutes away. So that's when we're out in the fields crushing the cane. We pitch our yeast in the field.
Wow.
To try and combat any of those. We want our yeast to kind of take over and not the natural yeast. Although there's still going to be some that just, you know, live up there. But yeah, so typically we just press our sugarcane juice and we haul it down to the distillery here and just pump them into our fermenters. And that kind of style is, it leads to a very more like pure version of the rum and the raw material. So you can get a lot of like grassiness, a lot of like earthy, like truffle-y kind of flavors that come from it. And it's just really nice expression of rum. It's, yeah, however you want to interpret it, pure version or whatever it is. But that's the thing that we always like try and argue or fight with, or it's just rum misconception in the world. It's like, oh, rum is either something or one thing, but it's like there's so many subcategories within rum that it's like, yeah, it's just an awesome category or just an awesome spirit in general.
That's awesome. On the nose here, I get a really nice, deep and rich banana on the front of the nose there. And then there's kind of like a little bit more of like a savory note that kind of comes in on the back end of the nose. And then on the sip there, it's very nice. You know, for myself, I usually like aged spirits, but this is a really great sipper, even though it's not aged. And I get a really nice, it's got to be the sugar cane coming through, a nice sugariness. There's a lot going on here. I'm sure we'll pick out some more. How about for you, Dave?
Yeah, I don't have the most refined palate for me. The biggest thing that stood out is as soon as that bottle opened, I feel like that nose kind of filled the room in a good way. It reminds me of like when I open a peated scotch at my house. My wife knows from a couple rooms over. I feel like it would be the same thing with this. As soon as you open up, just the aroma just kind of filled the space and kind of set you up for the taste and what you were going for. So that banana, and again, like you said, there's that earthy undertone to it that carries through to the palate is just fantastic.
And it's got this really nice silky mouthfeel.
Yeah.
That really has little to no burn on it. I think that's what makes it, you can just sip this neat as we are right here. This is great.
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in that aspect of the rum too, because we part of the rum agricole style, there's like an AOC or like guidelines that you have to follow in order to be called a rum agricole. So we're not technically a rum agricole, we're an agricole style rum.
Okay.
But of that, part of that, one of the guidelines is the rum needs to be rested for 90 days
Okay.
before it's served. So we do that at least 90 days, slowly introducing reverse osmosis water to our distillate as to not like kill any of the flavor or any of the aroma. So we take really delicate care of the spirit. And that's one of the things that we serve it at 40%, night 80 proof, but it drinks like above its percentage for sure. And there's a lot of character to a 40% alcohol, which is something we're really proud of.
I've heard that slow proofing really can make a big difference on that that nice mouthfeel and retaining all those flavors, like you're saying. Oh man, this is good. It's definitely not what I think most people would think when they're going to taste a rum, and I'm sure you guys run into that frequently when people come into the distillery. How do you approach that with folks? Like, do you kind of set them up before they take the taste, or do you kind of let them dive in and then sort of steer them along the way?
Yeah, I like to let people dive into it, but then at the same time, I'll talk to them and kind of explain it like how you would be tasting a tequila. It's like you really taste the plant, like you're tasting that agave, and everybody can connect with. Everyone's had tequila, and a lot of people love tequila. And so with the Kea especially, same thing. You really taste the plant, and it's the same thing. Like it's different, and each variety we grow 34 different varieties of Hawaiian heirloom sugar canes.
Wow.
So it's kind of like how a vintner would be using different grapes for different wines. We're using different varieties of of cane for each batch of our rum. So
Yeah.
each batch is going to be unique.
Yeah.
too.
And a lot of ways that like Tiff said with wine and grapes, we all assume or just accepted that all different grapes taste differently, right? And they make different wines. But sugarcane for the longest time, or even like now with like barley and malt, like everyone's like, oh, different varietals of malt, it actually matters, and where you're getting your corn or what different kinds of varietals of corn. So it's the same concept for sugarcane that we're doing. It's like, yeah, we just know it as this industrial product that just makes table sugar, but there's actually a lot of nuance to each different varietal. And so we go in with it like that. And then obviously, it's something new. Rum is not like everyone's category. And within that, agricole style rum, so it's a little off-putting. So you just got education. And then after you like talk to them, we've got so many people that leave the distillery that are like, super fans and super supporters after that. But the issue or like the trouble would be like that education out in the wild. But it's when we get that education out to people and we get to talk to them and just showcase what we do to them, like, because there's everyone here, we have 40 workers or whatever, and it's like everybody's TLC is like involved in this, like every from farm production all the way down to bottling. It's like it touches so many hands, and like when people hear like our passion behind it, and it's just like it's a no-brainer. But like for us, for like the earliest we can have something from seed to coming in the bottle is something like 15 months, because it takes about 12 months for the cane to grow, to mature from seed. And then after distillation, we have a 3-month resting. And then if we're talking about aging, we're 4 years at least into this process. So it's a very not easy, very labor intensive process, but it's a labor of love for us for sure.
Well, and I know like sugarcane's a variety of grass, right? And usually grass is like wind pollinated. Do you guys have to deal with that to keep the varieties true to type?
No, we don't. I mean, most of our stuff is grown like in different plots, so they're kind of away from each other.
Okay.
So yeah,
So we started, 15 years ago growing about a quarter acre of cane, and now we have 1,000 acres here on the island. So we're one of the largest, if not the largest cane grower in the state.
yeah,
And it's just for our rum.
Okay.
And just so people get an idea, like agricole rum only makes up like 3% of the world's rum. Like it's pretty new, and I think it's like the next up and coming, spirit that people are really getting into. So
yeah. You'll see it. There's some like spike in Louisiana now. I guess people have been down there. Like was it Cherami's down there and Oxbow yeah, Oxbow now. So they're like really putting the name on the map too, and it's cool to see that like we're not just out here on our island doing our thing. Yeah, at least like we're in it and we kind of see it and hear about it, but we're just championing like everybody who's like doing it. Like, yes, please get this in front of people. It's such a cool spirit, and I think there's so much history to it, and like, yeah, it's great.
And grow the whole category together.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I had a question for you. I believe you said you made this, the clear spirit out of, was it 7 or 8 different varietals of sugarcane, and it's primarily the one. So
Right.
yeah, you primarily is it the Kai.
Okay.
KS. Yeah. So the K, and you have single barrels of the others that you primarily do there. Is that right?
Yes.
So
Yeah. So,
oh yeah, I was gonna ask, with the different varietals of sugarcane, what aspects does that pull out in the spirit?
like for like each different variety.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they all have that kind of grassiness to it, right? So they're all gonna get that kind of thing. Some tend to be more like pear heavy,
Okay.
or more like you said with Kea is banana. There's like citrusy. There's like kind of this jackfruit thing. They all have that like little bit of brininess, a little bit of truffly aspect to them. But some you'll get like pears, like white grape. Just all different varietals kind of pull different things, and we know that going into it, so we'll distill a little bit, or we know what kind of notes to kind of look for to pull out. Because we'll typically pull a little bit more of those tropical higher notes in the beginning, and towards the end we kind of get into this. All of them have this little bit of like red hot cinnamon thing towards where we come to the tails. So that's where we know to like kind of look for that.
Okay.
The farming of our sugarcane is very important too, since we do have 3 locations. So we have right here in Kunia, we have a 15-acre field. We have another field in Waialua, which is like right next to the ocean. And then we have another one that's a little bit above, like up on a big field, up on the North Shore. So it is near the ocean, but it's a little further inland
Elevated, yeah.
and elevated. And so like the different soil types are so important too when you're growing these sugar canes, and it can actually really come out in different nuances in the finished product as well. So blood, sweat, tears, soil, like so many different things can change the flavor of that final product.
Yeah, so I imagine maybe get kind of the volcanic soils up a little higher in the sandy soils, more by the beach and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And up on our North Shore, in the winter months, you go up there and it looks like super foggy, but it's not fog. It's all the salt that's getting kicked up into the air, and that goes right into the soil too. So that really nice like minerality or salinity that you're getting could be definitely from that as well.
Man. Well, we're hitting some high points already, and we've only had our first pour here. I'm just really getting the sense of the craft that you guys are putting into this, just from seed to glass. Really an amazing story, and we haven't even cracked into the second one here. Do we want to get into the second pour, and you guys want to introduce the second one here?
Sure. Tiffany, you want to do this one?
Sure. So this one is one of my all-time favorites, and it's really special. This is our Koa barrel-aged rum. So this one is using the Kala'oa sugarcane. So it's another kind of light greenish cane, but the way the leaves grow on the sugarcane, they're like really broad and they grow just like perfectly symmetrical, I feel like. So it just looks like big fingers like sticking out like that. So to where the other ones, they all kind of like drape over and, start falling over. But this one, it's very like erect. And the kalaoa was actually used by the Hawaiians to spear eels. So each cane that we grow here has a different story behind it. And these weren't canes that were necessarily grown in the sugar plantations. The plantation canes were hybrid canes that were created just for sugar production. So they yield really high bricks and they're easy to harvest. Typically, they would burn all the fields. We don't do any of that here at Kō Hana. We're not burning our fields. We need all of that juice, so we don't want to compromise, and crystallize that sugar in the stock in any way. So we're just cutting that fresh sugar cane. But this type of barrel that we've aged the koa in is made out of Hawaiian koa wood, which is part of the acacia family. And back in the day, only royalty or the ali'i could use koa. They would use it for their furniture, jewelry. Nowadays, you see it, surfboards were made out of koa. All of the big outrigger canoes were hauled out of one single koa trunk. But nowadays, because it's been overforested and harvested, there's no longer koa trees that big anymore. So the koa wood that we're using to make our barrels is fallen koa,
Okay.
mostly from the Big Island, from the island of Hawaii. So we send that wood to a cooper in Oregon, and they're producing these barrels for us.
Yep.
So.
And what are some of the challenges with the koa barrels themselves? Just, are they a little more leaky than your traditional?
It's
Yeah.
really hard. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off. No, okay, that's the number one thing. The way they grow, they'll like kind of spiral and turn and like the fibers and yeah, it's tough. It's a tough wood to work with. There's we got like a lot of beeswax that we try to like fill the pukas with. But yeah, that's one of the issues is just the leakiness. It's very, very tough wood to work with. It's more of a finishing cask. We do have some where we do long aging white spirit new make into. So we're working on that where we can go from white spirit to finished koa. We have a lot of like koa finish. This one's a finished in koa cask. So we're really experimenting with it now, but also really like the direction that it's at. So we it's just nice. It's a nice spirit.
And how
You get some of those cola nut flavors and just like
Baking spice.
baking spice.
This is 50%.
Right.
So this is a little higher proof than Akea was.
Yeah, definitely. It steps it up there a little bit.
And koa wood is extremely expensive.
Yeah, I got that sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. On the nose on this one, I get a little bit more on the savory side of things. And I was curious. I recently got introduced to the term hogo, and I know that that's more of like a Caribbean island term. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that term. Do you guys ever use that? I think that that's kind of similar to like rancio in a brandy, but I think it's kind of that term for that overripe fruit, kind of that funky grassiness. Yeah, I'm kind of getting that on the nose in a very pleasant way. And then on the taste, that's where like the sweetness came in for me a little bit more, and this really develops on the palate. And I get some of more of that nice sugariness, and I feel like I can get more of those pleasant notes from the woods coming in on the finish.
Yep.
It's really good. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, for me, the finish is the best part for my favorite part for me, because it just kind of lingers on your tongue and it kind of stays with you. And you mentioned those baking spices that kind of stays with you for a while.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
warming. I'm still getting that silky mouthfeel from the first one. It's got some nice legs in the glass for sure. And, I'm sure our listeners see, but yeah, it's got a great kind of, like you said, like a cola color to it. I'm really liking this one.
We talk a lot about innovation out here in the West, and nobody embodies that quite like Charbet Distillery. Based in Northern California, the Karakashevich family brings 13 generations of distilling heritage to every single bottle. They are true pioneers, distilling beer into world-class whiskey and crafting brandies that set the standard. If you want to taste history that pushes the boundaries of flavor, you need Charbet on your shelf. Visit charbet.com to explore their legendary lineup. That's CHARBAY.com. Taste the legacy.
The craft spirits industry is facing real challenges, and there's never been a more important time to come together. Join us April 17th and 18th, 2026 in Sacramento for the American Craft Spirits Association Convention and Expo. 2 full days of practical education, honest conversations, meaningful networking, and an expo floor packed with suppliers. Register today at americancraftspirits.org. Thank you to ACSA for your sponsorship and support. Be sure to follow ACSA on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram to stay up to date on the latest news, industry insights, upcoming events, and association updates. Cheers.
Yeah, Kō imparts a nice like red hue to it and just looks it looks beautiful in the glass and just in the bottle and everything. But yeah, yeah. So I'll remind you, or I'll let you know that you keep saying that it's sweet, and then we have that perception of sweetness, but we don't add any sugar to any of our rums or anything like that. We're 100% natural, and all the sweets you're getting is just just the perceived sweetness on our tongues that the distillate comes from, or the barrel sweetness in this case.
Yeah, those wood sugars coming in. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And so you said they were finished in those barrels. So what's the starting barrels that you age them in?
Typically, it's a second use American oak.
Oak American oak.
So we do our flagship aged rum is a combination of new use American oak and second use. The Koa wood or the Koa casks are second use into a Koa cask, or second use American oak into a Koa cask.
And Nick, you guys were talking about how you press the juice right in the field, and then you pitch the yeast so that you don't have the natural yeast coming in and over competing, so you can kind of keep that flavor coming in. And I was just wondering, do you do like a longer fermentation than most typical rums, or?
No, typically we're pretty fast, 3 to 5 days, depending on the time of year. In the summer, we have really fast fermentations. It's pretty much hot all the time. Now, when we're fermenting, it's a little cooler. I mean, we're in like the 70s or 60, 65 at night, so it gets a little cool. It kind of just like slows fermentation down. But yeah, no, we're typically pretty quick. We want to get in the still and get it fermented as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I see what you're saying, kind of on those cola flavors coming in. I'm really digging this. This is great, guys.
yeah, if we want to do a little bit more like, I don't know, get a little bit more acidic, a little more higher ester and all that, we would do like a little longer fermentation. Sometimes we've done 7 days, but we don't really go too much further past that. Like usually day 4 is maybe 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice. And then you have your still in the background there. You guys want to talk about the workhorse there?
yeah. So we have right here, you can kind of see these are, oh yeah, there's our big still right here.
Oh, okay.
Right. Got a little ball in there. We got 20 plates. Typically we're running through just one of these columns with either like, 1 or 2 plates turned on. Pretty free flowing distillate, but we have our deflegmator at the top, so we can kind of control. We can go right from, let's say, squeeze you out there.
I was just gonna show.
Yeah, there you go.
Very
Oh,
So right from right from juice, we can get our final distillate. So we have usually come in around 18 to 20 bricks, or roughly like 1080 for specific gravity people. But yeah, so it usually yields us around like a 10% cane wine, and it's cane wine. I called it beer for the longest time, and I got yelled at a lot. So it's cane wine.
Okay.
Yeah. So from the 10% cane line, we're able to pull off final proof through our pot column hybrid still. We do have a stripping still that we use sometimes too, but mainly it's done through the pot column hybrid. And yeah,
And what are you typically coming off the still at?
we're typically pulling off around 160. So
Oh, wow.
80%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Higher. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
And so a quick clarifying question. You used the term bricks a couple of times. Can you explain exactly what that is?
Yeah. So it's like the amount of sugar in say 100 mils. So you have 100 mils of liquid.
Mhm.
It's how much grams of sugar would be in that. So if you have 20 bricks, it would be 20 grams of sugar in that 100 mil sample.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good clarification there. I have a little bricks meter at home, so I know what it is. But thank you for our listeners who might not know what the bricks is. Yeah, no, that's a good point, Dave. Yeah, for sure. And then, okay, so coming off the still, 160 proof, and then you said you kind of had that slow proofing process. What do you guys proof it down for, like, say, what we're tasting now before it goes into the barrel?
Well, for the barrel, we typically would just go pretty much right in.
Oh.
So we don't really slow for the barrel. Just the white spirit. Yeah. There's going to be so much esterification, oxidation that goes along with the aging process that, yeah, it's just, yeah.
Okay, so
That we-
proof it after it comes out.
Row house is climate controlled either, so we do a tropical aging. It's hot all the time in there, so
Yeah. So typically our rums, our Coho, which is our flagship,
Mhm.
is typically a 2 to 3, sometimes 4-year aged, but we lose about 10% each year just to angel share, just to loss. So we're expedited aging for sure over here. Yeah, and it's it's usually 2-3 years is kind of the sweet spot for that. So we do have some barrels that are going longer. We want to do some long age stuff, but that's down the line. We have that's a ways away, but we have some barrels that we're really stoked on and proud of, and we'll get to those eventually.
Well, I'm getting a little bit more of that that overripe banana. It reminds me of like the auntie's banana bread that that you can go get at the waterfalls. You go visit the waterfalls and they got their little stand set up and
Yeah.
buy the awesome banana bread. This is fantastic, guys. I mean, really hats off to you guys. I can just really get the sense of the craft that's going in at just every step of the way. This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
And now the thing that gets me is just the history that's there at the facility. And Tiffany, you said your grandparents had ties to that area. That's just awesome. So
yeah.
I guess you guys are very community focused there, I would assume.
Yeah, for sure. It's a like ag area that we're in. So there's a lot of farmers. We have a lot of neighboring farms too that are growing big fruit trees, and there's a Thai farmer. There's someone growing local mamaki tea right down the road too. So it's a really cool community that we're a part of here. for
Yeah.
sure.
A lot of ag stuff. So a lot of our farmers live in the housing next to us, the ag housing,
Yeah.
like Tiff was talking about. And then we also, a lot of our bottling team are either family members or just people that are in the village. So it's a pretty tight knit community between just all the farming people around us. So
That's
pretty
cool. Do you guys do you partner with any of the other farmers to kind of share ingredients to try new things and experiment and have fun?
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to jump into the last rum yet, but that's kind of a great segue.
I'm high. Yeah.
Not to rush you guys or anything, but we love partnering with other local businesses, for sure. And this Kokoleka, um, is one of those like really proud moments where we get to feature, our farm plus two others. So yeah, this one, we're essentially taking our Kea, the white rum, and we're steeping about 600 pounds of raw cacao that is sourced by Manoa Chocolate here on the island. So we steep that cacao in the rum for a few weeks, and it just extracts all of that chocolatey color and flavor. And then we remove the cacao, give it back to Manoa Chocolate, and they make chocolate bars and chocolate-covered macadamia nuts. We can't even keep it on the shelf. It's so popular.
That's the one.
That's the one right there.
Thank you so much, guys. I can't wait.
To try this show us the waste. And then naturally that cacao is kind of bitter and nutty. So we're gonna balance that out with a local honey, sourced by Manoa Honey. So both of these companies are completely separate companies. They're both called Manoa, which means vast or deep in Olelo, Hawaii. And neither one is in Manoa, because that's also a town here on the island. So just to get that out.
And as far as like collaborations, yeah, like Tiff was saying, those are like our farm collaborations. But we have, we do so many things because like Tiff said, like things are expensive to come out here, and we just don't like to have waste for anything. So we'll get so many uses out of barrels. We give barrels out to, we have a hot sauce, or we give barrels out to Manoa Honey. They age honey in them. They give them back to us. We give them to a hot sauce company. They make hot sauce out of it. And then like we have so many collaborations that we do. And it's a really important part about doing business on the islands, because it's just like everyone looks out for each other. And
we try to be as sustainable as possible too, since it takes so much to get a barrel here.
Yeah.
Out in the middle. We're like one of the most isolated, islands in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever a barrel costs you in Kentucky or California, it's double the price. And
Yeah. Man. Okay. So let's jump in here. On the nose, I really get that cacao up front, and it's so rich and so nice. I am in love with this. Yeah. You really get that, like you said, that kind of bitterness in a very pleasant way. And the richness, I think, really comes through even on the nose.
Yeah, I feel like I get some of the honey on the nose as well, kind of balancing that out.
So this is the only one that we're adding like a sweetness.
Yeah,
Correct.
definitely. Oh man, on the taste, that is so luscious and rich and nice. Yeah, that for me, that's where the honey really comes in. I get that, and it plays so well with the chocolate. This is such a nice like dessert.
And what I love about it too is it as rich as it is, it's still light.
Yes.
It's not like thick in any way. So
And it's not cloyingly sweet at all. Yeah, no, you guys did the perfect touch on the amount of cacao and the sweetness from the honey. You guys are knocking it out of the park for sure.
So well balanced.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, that honey, because if it's just cacao, you're just gonna have it's just extremely. It's just enough to cut that bitterness down. Like you said, you still get some bitterness, which is nice.
Yeah.
But not like a painful amount of bitterness. It's just,
Yeah,
It's
no,
really-
it's like a nice, like a 70% dark chocolate bar where, it's not like a 90, 100% full cacao bar or anything.
yeah.
So
do you guys get to try the bar?
Oh, should we do that now?
It's up to you.
Up to you.
I feel like I'm so in love with this that maybe we'll nibble on it as we're
all right,
you're
you're gone.
here. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the balance, like I said, is absolutely amazing between the sweet and the bitter. What was were either of you guys involved in the development process? Do you guys know what that was like going back and forth?
This predated me.
Okay.
This was already a product drinking one.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe
They should drink whatever they give me.
Fair. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, and you guys have that like wonderful, rich story to, back it up, So
I think it's just kind of a no-brainer. It's like where we grow a lot of,
Yeah.
have a lot of.
Cacao can only be grown here in Hawaii or, somewhere near the equator. So, same thing, like coffee or vanilla. So we have a lot of interesting things that we're able to grow here in Hawaii that, places around the US can't grow. So we try to take advantage of those opportunities for sure.
yeah, what are some of the other products in your guys' lineup?
Yeah.
Like that we're experimenting with or
Just
just available to the public right now.
Now let's start with that. What's available now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was saying, we have our flagship aged rum, the Coho. That is a, like I said, blend of new American oak and second use American oak. And then we have a ready to drink cocktail line. We have Kila. So we also have a one that's for the distillery only, basically. A few other spots you can get it, but and it's called Kila. And Kila means strength, so it's our cast strength release that we do.
Nice.
And it's usually a specialty barrel, so we'll have like a finish, and we've done all kinds of things. Ports, we've done cognacs, we've done tequila one time. I think
Sherry.
Yeah, we just kind of have our fun experimental barrels, or if it's just an exceptional barrel that we like, and it's either set for 4 years or 6 years, whatever it is, and just release something that we think is exceptional. So. Nice.
And it's usually pretty strong. Like
We've
seen them up to like 65%. Yeah. And still really smooth.
Yep.
So that's what I drink around my in-laws. I'm hitting.
Of course.
Yeah, we have with our aging process here, we evaporate a lot, but we lose more water than we do alcohol.
Okay.
So we go in, say if we go in at 117, we'll come out. Typically, it's like 120 proof, or it's always going up a few points, and that's just a product of humidity and where we're at. Yeah.
And then we always like to talk about distribution and where people can find your products, of course. So you guys want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so obviously we started off distributing just here in Hawaii. We had to take care of home first.
Yeah.
So we're pretty available in the islands for the most part, in any local grocery store, liquor store, a lot of bars and restaurants, and the hotels as well. And then kind of more recently, we've partnered with Hawaiian Airlines and Japan Airlines as well. And so if you're heading to the islands, you can, start your vacation ASAP on the plane. And we're their signature Mai Tai on Hawaiian Airlines. And they're also offering our Lilikoi Daiquiri. It's like they're both ready to drink cocktails. You just pour it over ice and you are good to go. And then we've started California distribution as well. So you'll start seeing us in Total Wines and Bevmos, Whole Foods. And then we've been doing some road shows with Costco's throughout California. So keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, so really great opportunities for growth for us. And obviously, we can only grow as much as we are growing, since we're growing everything that we make. So, which is a really important point. We're not, mass produced. We're not, growing overnight. So you'll just see us like slowly, as time goes on and we're able to grow more sugarcane, being more available in different states. I think our newest state is Tennessee as well. We have a few pallets heading that way pretty soon. So that's really exciting. And we do have a very small distribution in New York and Florida as well. So yeah,
Nice.
super exciting.
Yeah. Great job, guys. Yeah, I know I saw you guys in the Costco in Kauai when we went out there. So yeah,
I was there.
You're right. So
well, bummer I missed you. Um, yeah, awesome, guys. Well, and earlier you were talking about kind of some more of like your R&D stuff. We like to talk about that too right now, you know, kind of in the future of the Kō Hana Distillery. You guys want to talk about that? Maybe Nick, can you talk about that?
So we have one we're about to release. We've done a small release of it. Something we've been working on for a couple of years now. It's botanical rum. We did a small release. We have a local rum club that we do called our Ohana Club. So you sign up for Ohana, you get rums every quarter.
Yeah, sign up on our website. It's called the Ohana Club.
Yeah.
You get 3 different rums each quarter. So
Yep.
yeah, it's really awesome.
Typically a Kila, Kea, and a Koho. And we try and do our best to like do either give them first release of something or like whatever. We really try and take care of our Ohana. And this was one of the things that we did. We did our first release of the botanical rum through our Ohana in Q1 of this year. So we're really stoked on it. It's coming to the mainstream very soon. We're just working on some details, but it's Archaea. Obviously, that still I was telling you about. We have a continuous still that we can do low wines on.
Okay.
So we'll pull low wines off, and then we add all local botanicals to the pot with it, and then we redistill that, and then similar to a gin because my background is in gin as well too. So
Yeah.
but it's super tasty, and it's really cool. It's something we're all proud of, and you know we're kind of working on different RTDs and always trying to look to expand that too. But this is like one of the newer ones that we're going to introduce to our rum line too. So it's really exciting for us, and yeah.
And it's a little different than like the Cocoletha where we're adding the flavors after distillation.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
This is all just redistilled
Mhm.
botanicals in the pot, redistilled and done that way.
And
Yeah.
what's the general sense of the botanical flavor influence on that one?
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of just like, what do we have available to us? It's turning out to be it's going to be a seasonal thing, or at least we'll only be able to make it in a certain season here because a lot of the citrus we do, there's like calamansi in it. We have lime, some pomelo.
Nice.
And with different roots. It's all this stuff kind of grows in like that June to August area. So we are working with another local farmer partner to try and grow some cilantro or coriander seed because we have coriander in there, but we had to outsource that for this. But going forward, we're going to make that local. That's the only one that wasn't our local ingredient. So going forward, that'll be that one. And then, yeah, just different roots that we have in there. We have some ginger and turmeric and, pandan is one of our flavors too. We got pandan in there.
Nice.
Because it grows everywhere here on Island, right? With plenty of
Peppercorn.
green peppercorn. Yeah.
Wow.
Stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
man, all that sounds fantastic. Oh my God.
We're calling it la'au, which is like plant
Okay.
or
Like medicine and
in
garden.
Hawaiian.
Man, you guys are hitting on all cylinders. I feel like, yeah, I think I've said it several times, but just at each step, I'm just hearing the craft and the love that you guys are putting into your spirits and in the process.
Speaking of which, we never actually talked about the origin of the name.
Oh yeah.
Kō Hana.
I know. I was when you were saying ol is sugarcane in Olelo, Hawaii, and Hana is work. So it's the work of the cane. Is what our name means.
Yeah, it's really just like how we do with fermentations, how everything is done. It's just to kind of let the cane do everything, just kind of guide it along and kind of get out of the cane's way, just kind of get out of the way. That's why we put all of our like controlled fermentations with our yeast, because we want it to be like the purest version of of the cane and just let the cane do all the talking, kind of. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys are doing fantastic work for sure. Thank you so much, guys. I mean, the lineup is so amazing that you guys sent this to us, and then the glassware, the chocolate. Oh yeah, let's try some of the chocolate and the stickers and everything. We definitely want to have you guys let our listeners know like what your social handle is, maybe your website as well, so they can get your products.
Yeah, for sure. So our website is kohanarum.com. That's KOHANARUM.com. And same thing for our social handle. It's Kohana Rum. So
Okay.
for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So we kept it really easy for everybody.
Delicious.
It is. It is. So
And it's a really high percentage cacao chocolate bar. It's like 80%, I think. It's so sweet.
I would not guess
No?
that. It's very
Yeah.
mellow and approachable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and yeah, you can take tours of their cacao farm.
Oh yeah, Manoa chocolate's amazing. Manoa honey is amazing as well. So, yeah, if you go to Manoa Chocolate, they have a tasting room as well, a factory tour. They even have a farm tour that's right near one of our farms. So, yeah, they have a lot of great things to learn about cacao, and you can also buy our rum there too.
Perfect. Okay.
And you can buy a lot of chocolates here.
yeah,
I'm running home and I'm saying, honey, we're booking tickets to Oahu. We're coming.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know when you say, right?
We will.
they're both all producers too. So cacao, the Manoa does a cacao wine that it's not something they have all the time that they do. And from the runnings, from the fermentation of the cacao, they make a wine out of the runnings from that. And then
Sometimes they have a cacao spritz too. That is so good. Yeah. If you've ever had like the fruit of the cacao, it's like sweet nectar, like kind of like lychee. And then they make like a little spritzer out of it. That's so good with our rum too. So
very good.
Nice.
And then Manoa honey is also a meadery too, so they do mead.
Oh, wow. You guys got it going on out there, man. Well, Tiffany, Nick, I am so heartened by this episode. I mean, like I said, you guys are hitting on all cylinders, and the products are fantastic. You guys certainly have the story and the process that yeah, I can really see your heart and soul getting into all the products there. So really want to thank you for your time. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you guys. So I was just wondering, you guys have any final thoughts for our listeners?
I would say just explore rum. Rum is such a cool category, and give it a shot, because like once you open that door, I think it's true with everyone. Once you figure out rum, it can be so much more than what you think it is, and it's really like there's so much history behind it. It's America's pastime. Like before all the taxes on sugar, it was what people were drinking. It's what the British Navy was drinking. It's what they brought over here. It was like, and then obviously barley became so cheap and we had so much of it here, just bourbon became our drink. But and bourbon's great as well, but rum is, just explore rum. It's awesome.
yeah, and drink local, so there's so many good local spirits wherever you go. Like when I plan a vacation, I plan it usually around like local breweries and distilleries or wineries, because you just find all these hidden gems. But when you go, like really ask questions, because here in Hawaii too, like there's so many products, not just like rums or spirits, but just in general that it says made in Hawaii, but like how much is actually made in Hawaii, Like for us, we're literally growing it here. We're not outsourcing, we're not blending, rums made from other places and calling it made in Hawaii. We're not, using molasses or processed sugar, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either, but we're literally growing what we make and we're doing it the hard way. And, it's really important to support local agriculture and people really putting in that hard work. So,
Yeah.
drink local.
I love that it's on the hat too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was raised with the phrase the right way isn't always the easy way. And I'm really feeling that coming through with you guys too. You guys are, like you said, putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, making it happen, and putting excellent product in the bottle. So I really want to encourage our listeners to go out, try Kō Hana rum, expand your palate. Yeah, I'm so heartened by this episode, Dave. And I just want to thank you guys again so much for spending your time with us on the weekend. And I really am looking forward to the opportunity to maybe come out to the island and meeting you guys and really getting the full experience for sure.
So
Yeah, for sure.
we'd love to have you. And we'll send you guys bottles of the botanical rum too when we get it.
Okay.
When we get it going.
Yep.
A little another care.
For sure. We'd love to do a tasting talk on that. And then maybe down the road, we'll do another episode and a revisit. So, yeah. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to Distilling the West and exceptionally made craft spirits in the Western United States.
Cheers, guys.
There they are.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.